Hey babes, I'm Mother Dearest, and welcome back to the Off-Script Parent. Hey, welcome back for 2026. I just thought I would, before we kick on with the episode, say that I hope you're having a good start to 2026, as it's been a little bit hit and miss, but I am feeling quite positive for this year. But I just wanted to say that I hope everyone had a nice break over Christmas, or if you don't celebrate it, just generally had a nice bit of time where things kind of slow down a bit, and that you're all looking forward to this year. I'll kick on with the episode, shall I? So, today's episode is all about being what you needed. I just want to start by confirming this is not a parent bashing episode. It's not about blaming your mum, your dad, your nana, or whoever it was that raised you. It is about the moments we all have at some point in parenting, where something happens with our kids and suddenly we're not reacting as adults, we're reacting as the child we used to be. And you think, oh, that's why that hurts so much. Because parenting doesn't just raise your children, it raises your unresolved stuff too. Section 1. Why parenting hits old nerves. Here's something nobody tells you before you have kids. Parenting will take you straight back to your own childhood, often without warning. And you'll hear yourself say things and shudder like, Jesus Christ, why did my mum just come out of my mouth? Or you'll feel a level of rage, sadness, or panic that makes no sense for what is actually happening when you look at it objectively. Your kid forgets their homework, then cries over something small. They talk back, they shut down, and suddenly your body reacts like it's under threat. That's because your nervous system remembers. You're not broken, and it's way more common than people realise. Our brains don't store childhood memories like a little freaking story. They're felt experiences. How safe you felt, how seen you felt, how supported you were when you struggled, and how you had to respond to protect yourself. Everyone's childhood issues or trauma is valid. We're not here trying to play a game of fucking top trumps of childhood neglect. So when your child needs something you didn't get, patience, reassurance, protection, or belief, it can hit an old bruise. We quite often react in a way that's easiest for us to deal with. And that doesn't make you a bad person or a bad parent. Psychologically, it makes sense. But we'll probably end up passing on the same response to our kids if we don't do something about it. Instead of reacting, stop. Just stop. Take a moment or two, even if you have to go and lock yourself in the fucking bathroom, and think. You have to find a moment in childhood where you felt what they're feeling. Have they fallen over and they're being a bit dramatic? Are they arguing with a sibling? Are they saying that they don't like the dinner you just made? These are basic things, and I'm not out here to upset anyone, so I'm picking just easy examples. So let's practice on those. Did you have any of these moments as kids where the way you responded to felt unfair, shut you down, or left you feeling a bit abandoned and alone? Find it and think. What would I have wanted my parent or guardian to have responded to in this moment? How would I have wanted them to be? You're responding to the memory of you, and that's where the work starts. Section 2. What being you needed is and isn't. People love that phrase, don't they? Be the parent you needed. But it's often misunderstood. It does not mean never setting boundaries, never being triggered, overcompensating out of guilt, turning your child into your therapist, or parenting perfectly. It does mean noticing where your reactions are actually coming from and choosing conscious responses over automatic reactions. You're not parenting to heal through your child. You're parenting alongside your healing. Big difference. Section 3. The needs most of us didn't get. Let's name some common ones because you'll probably recognise yourself in at least one of these. A lot of us needed someone to believe us, defend us, to say that wasn't okay, to listen without minimising, or someone to stay calm when we weren't. What a lot of us sadly got was, stop crying, you're being dramatic, life's hard, get on with it, or, I got this one a lot, I'll give you something to cry about. Or maybe you just got silence or emotional distance. Sadly, a lot of people got a lot fucking worse. I hope you know none of it was justified and it was never deserved. If me saying that felt uncomfortable, say it to yourself until you damn well believe it. I did not deserve that and none of it was my fault. Section 4. Stick or twist. When our kids are losing their shit because they're tired, they've got the world's smallest greys you have to bust out a microscope for, appear to be using you as a guinea pig for a quiz they're apparently drafting, or they've decided they're going to show off in front of your friends. We feel torn. Part of us wants to snap, part of us wants to get it right. In that moment, you'll do one of the two, depending on your level of emotional capacity. But why do we do that? Why don't we reach for the one we know we're going to be proud of after? Why is snapping easier even though we've done it before and felt like fucking shit after? We're grieving what we didn't get. It's that subconscious grief that stops us being the parent we want to be. Ignoring it is what turns into resentment, anger, and avoidance, and further fucks things up for us. When we're overwhelmed, we reach for what we know, what was taught to us without even realising. It's just our default fucking position. Section 4. When your child triggers your past. Oh, that's really hard to say with braces. Let's talk about triggers. Firstly, I fucking hate this word. It's been overused and misappropriated to the point I hate it. It's like when people say they have OCD because they like to load the dishwasher a certain way. It really pisses me off. Maybe I'm triggered. I don't have OCD, but I do know what it's like for people to use language to the point they've almost taken the value away from it, and that hurts people. Triggers has become a buzzword for everyday annoyance. Oh, I'm triggered by loud chewing. You're annoyed or overstimulated. That comment triggered me. It offended you or rubbed you the wrong way. I'm triggered when people are late. You value punctuality and feel disrespected. My kid talking back really triggers me. You're frustrated, tired, or feel challenged. That TikTok video triggered me. It annoyed you or it disagreed with your values. You're still in the present moment and your body isn't reacting like there's a threat. These are not triggers, they're proportional reactions to the situation. The DSM-5, the Diagnostic and Statistic Manual of Mental Disorders, 5th edition, apparently there's a 6 on the way. They found more things wrong with us. And the ICD-10, the International Classification for Diseases, version 10, are the Bibles of psychologists. The DSM-5 is the American one, and the ICD-10 is kind of who wrote it? The World Health Organization. But it's the one that we use in the NHS in the UK. Both of these texts classify triggers as reactions that are beyond annoyance or irritation. They are intrusive and overwhelming responses tied to an original trauma memory. No one has an original trauma memory about the way someone fucking chews, you're just overstimulated. So basically, when something occurs and your logical brain has ceased running the show and you are emotionally reacting in a way that doesn't logically match the situation, it's the nervous system saying, this feels familiar and it feels unsafe. I know that may have felt a bit like I was labouring the point and getting very in-depth there, but it's important we know the difference between being irritated as fuck and no longer being in control of our emotions. Common triggers that adults experience without even realising it are being ignored, being disrespected. And I don't just mean someone giving you a sassy look, I mean genuine disrespect. Being shouted at or being blamed. So when your child does something that hits one of those, your body reacts before your brain even catches up. And that's when you tend to shout louder than you mean to, say something you didn't mean, shut down emotionally, and it's horrible. We feel this crushing guilt afterwards because the threat was neutralised and we've calmed down again. Okay, so I've basically written you a blank check to being a dick in certain situations. No, obviously fucking not. I'm not giving anyone carte blanche here. But we can't change behaviours if we don't see them. I have given you some work to do, because as tired, stressed, busy parents, what could we want more? More work to do. Section 5. Being what you needed in real life. So what does this work actually look like day to day? I don't recommend trying this next exercise if you aren't mentally in the space to reflect on times where you felt bad about your interactions with your kids. We all have moments where we know we fucked up to varying degrees. It's easier to start with the smaller ones and examine why we think we might have fucked up. Think about what the scenario was, how you reacted, and why you feel bad. That guilt isn't something I really want you to hold on to. You're doing the work now and it doesn't help. But in the moment, right now, that guilt is telling you what you did. Do you remember why? Really think about it. Notice when you start to feel this way again and stop. Trust me, this isn't any bullshit count to 5 before you speak mid-argument with your other half who's being a prick. This is conscious parenting. If you really examine that scenario, the next time you feel it build, that discussion with yourself will pop back up in your head and you'll remember the guilt and you will want to avoid it. And that right there is retraining your brain. It's easier to change your behaviour to stop you being hurt than it is for others, I'm afraid. It sounds a bit selfish, but the human body itself is actually only worried about us. That being said, we're able to listen to our logical brain and allow ourselves to make better choices when dealing with a micrograze. It becomes a snowball effect, and you start to kick that logical brain in more and more. Don't worry, you're not going to become like Buddha or anything. You'll still have moments where you absolutely lose your shit, obviously. But it should be the exception, not your child's expectation. And when you do fuck up, we have to say, I didn't handle that well, that wasn't your fault, I'm sorry. Because maybe no one ever said that to you. Pausing to avoid more shame and guilt. Saying sorry, or I believe you. In those moments, you avoid continuing the cycle for your kids, and you start to heal. You really do. Section 6. You don't have to rewrite history. You do not need to fully heal your childhood before you can be a better version of you as a parent. You don't need to unpack every memory, confront every person, or relive every wound. You just need awareness, and that's what I've given you. You just need to notice when something feels bigger in that moment and choose not to pass it on. Cycle breaking isn't dramatic. It's quiet. It's daily. It's fucking empowering, to be honest with you, and it's choosing you. I feel like we get these phrases thrown around quite a lot, like choose yourself, be what you needed, all this stuff. And people think it has to be these really big, well thought out like shows and performances. It's not. It's you looking at your behaviour, but it's not surface. We have to look at the actual feeling in that moment and try and remember the earliest time that we felt like that and be like, oh, okay, so I don't like being ignored and that's now why I've flown off the handle. And when your kid starts to ignore you, you're going to remember that conversation with yourself. You really are. And you'll be like, no, because that's not a normal reaction. That's my survival mode kicking in. We don't want that. Section 7. What if you're doing this already? If you're listening to this thinking, I'm trying so fucking hard and I still feel like I'm failing, I see you. Being what you needed can be exhausting work because you're parenting your child and reparenting yourself at the same time. But if you are failing, why are you here? You're still doing the work then. So you're not failing. You're failing with style. I'm kidding. It was an intrusive thought and it won there. Sorry, back to being serious. You're emotionally drained and you're pouring from an empty cup. I'm not going to tell you to have a break, some alone time, get someone else to handle the kids. A lot of us don't have that option. We have to just keep going. In small moments when the kids are in bed, at school, with the other parent, somewhere not up your arsehole, think about what you get right. Think about where you have shown up for them. Focus on where you're bossing it and just reset. Think about even the fact that you are constantly trying to look for ways to improve things. All of that is progress. Because I guarantee, fuck it, I'm going to throw her under the bus. If anyone wants to ask my mum what she got wrong, I was a bad kid. Okay. So, keep looking for those wins and shift your mindset back to the positive before you go again. Your child doesn't need a healed parent. They need a healing, safe enough one. Being what you needed doesn't mean becoming someone else. It means choosing awareness over the autopilot, connection over control, and repair over perfection. Your kids won't grow up thinking, my parent got everything right. Absolutely fucking not. They'll grow up thinking, I was safe to be myself. And that's the point. Thank you so much for listening to this week's episode. If you want more in-depth episodes, a bit more like this one, there's going to be monthly ones over on my Patreon. And there's also going to be ones where I'm just dicking about interviewing my kids, which is kind of funny because we've just recorded the first one. All the details for that can be found in the show notes or on my Instagram's link in bio. My God, sounds so wanky. But if you want to get in touch with me, my email and Instagram will also be in the show notes because I'm really tired of reading them out because they're too long. Until next time, remember that your needs are important, whether they're the needs now or the needs that you had as a child. And in being that conscious parent that we all needed, it does start to heal those old wounds, even ones you weren't aware of. Much love, Mother Dearest.